Hello everyone. I'm sure you've gone through our website and you know that I'm Bonnie Leota and
I'm Thomas Leota.
Right. What you don't know is how we came to be Bonnie and Tom and what made us commit our life purpose to sharing the word of creating champions for life philosophy with you.
And also some great results of what the Creating Champions for Life has done for other kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And big kids.
And definitely big kids.
Those are called parents.
Oh. And what I think is absolutely amazing is that I have had a vision to be able to help the children out there realize their greatness since I was 22 years old and I discovered my greatness. And I read the book Think and Grow Rich, and in that moment I'm like, I knew I could be a somebody, and I wish somebody had told me when I was 11 or 12 years old that I... So I actually ended up meeting Thomas on a cruise ship in the Bahamas because I'm from Canada.
I'm from the States, so...
But a few months before we connected, I made a list of everything I wanted in a life partner. And that's for all the single moms and single dads out there. It does work because a few months later I met Thomas and he was everything that was on that list.
Yeah, I had an intention card also, and this intention card allowed me to write down what it is that you look to achieve. And as I ran this martial art program, Creating Champions for Life is what it's called now, I wrote on an intention card to find someone that will help me bring it to the world. I've been doing martial arts for well over 20 plus years, so there's personal development in that. And so when you also get a chance to go out to these like big luxury cruises, you know, they're like those big giant boats that are like mini Vegas cities on them. I'm sure you've been on a cruise ship, but when you go there with a big group of people that are all like-minded, open-minded, personal development, looking to plus one their life, well, that's where we actually met. That particular cruise ship happened to be the manifestation of that intention. And that was truly why I believe we met in that really random, what's the odds of somebody from two different countries meeting on the same boat at the same time, because there was more boats to pick from.
Right.
Wasn't the only one.
It's mind-boggling.
It's astronomical.
It's very cool. So
You think about divine intervention. It's no accident that we're together. We're here for a greater purpose and a greater cause.
Right.
Because on that cruise ship, the first 5 minutes when you get on, they kind of give you a tour of all. We met a mutual friend or acquaintance on there, was from Canada. His name was Luke. Met him the first 5 minutes of the cruise. She met Luke probably about the first hour of the cruise or so like that. We never saw each other all on the cruise until
4 days.
Until the very last day, the last evening before we went back. Luke basically said, when I was having a conversation with me, he goes, you know, Tom, I got somebody you've got to meet. So he comes over and he goes, Bonnie, this is Tom. Tom, this is Bonnie.
Right.
Bonnie, Tom has a radio program on personal development.
Right.
And I asked Bonnie the first question, is there anything you're passionate about in life to be on the show? She goes, do I have anything I'm passionate about?
Do I have something I'm passionate about? It was like, I am so passionate to help people out there just, you know, realize their potential. Right. And at the time, I had no idea that he had any knowledge to do with children. I was on a personal development cruise. I was an inspirational speaker. I was a success coach. And Tom was also in the personal development. But through actually preparing for the radio program, I found out how involved in personal development he was. And so for those of you that have not been involved in personal development, that is an industry that is the fastest growing industry on the planet. And it's really for adults that have self-limiting beliefs or for adults that want to achieve more success than what they're presently doing.
And one of the things that I loved best about Bonnie was she actually did something. Now, she was very teachable. She's very coachable. Like on a teachability index. I mean, she's open to hear, and she's so willing to do something a little bit different that she may have never done before.
Absolutely. So after a few months, I was on his radio show, and we became friends, and we decided that we were going to be personal development inspirational speakers and met me and my family for the very first time. And I'll remind you again, I had no idea he was an expert with children.
And we moved over, and I had a chance to observe her family with her 4 kids and things. Well, I saw a very ambitious woman having a house that is full of children that were all in an environment that led them up to no personal development skills for themselves. As she would then come home, first thing I'd observe is, well, like 4 little kittens that are hungry to eat, and they find the mama cat, and all they're doing is looking for the nipple. Just coming up and just suck, 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 suck.
I spent a lot of time telling my kids, you're awesome, you can do anything you choose, you know, because I'm working with adult brains, thinking that I have to reprogram my kids into believing they can be a somebody. But somehow they didn't have the belief they could be a somebody, even though I was a success coach in my real life.
That environment that she had was okay, but it seemed like it's such a consistency that I saw with all the families, where the parents earn things in their lives, but then the kids, they have a tendency to just give them, because parents along that line always do things to make their kids happy. They very rarely will ever do the right choice for the child. They always want to do things to make them happy. And that was something I've typically found with yours, which is very common with almost any family, especially when you have a single parent. They were all in a gimme, 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 what can I have, what can I have, fight, fight, fight. All the kids are struggling to get the one cookie. Is that there wasn't a life skill or a system put into place, almost like an instruction manual. You know, what do you do with your kids? Exactly. But that's what I observed at first. And they're bright kids. There was just not a right environment yet. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, there's some great potential here. If she learned what I was doing in school, or in the school that I ran, this philosophy, she'd have one dynamic household. And that's what I observed at first.
Yeah.
Great kids, massive potential, just needed the right tools and the right environment to really take off.
Right. Now, understand, I'm in personal development. I've got these 4 kids who are not personally developed at all. In fact, they're victims, they're bullies, they're rude, they're demanding, ungrateful. They're going to kill me for putting this on camera, but they'll know it's true one day. It is the reality of what it was. But when I met you, I had no idea that you had a child-rearing philosophy, that you'd worked with hundreds of kids, which we're going to get to in a few minutes. But I had no idea that I'm with this man who's worked with thousands of kids, who knows exactly how to get great results, and he's too humble to say anything at first.
Example that I think I let the cat out of the bag. I accidentally did it.
Yeah,
she saw the results, and then she was like, okay, what did you do?
So on our way home, I've got my 7-year-old and Tom and my 10-year-old in the back seat, and I'm driving. They're interacting. Now, these kids, I mean, I would ask them to help clean up, and I mean, they wouldn't. I just ended up just doing everything.
What are you going to give me?
Right, what are you going to give me? And one of them would literally say no, you know, so I just fed up years ago and just decided to do everything myself. And so they're interacting. We get home, park the Lexus in the driveway. Tom and I go to get out, and I look in the back seat, and here my kids are, like, organizing papers, and they've got the little rags out. They're cleaning the back seat, and I don't remember asking them to clean the truck, and even if I did ask them to clean the truck, they wouldn't be doing what they were doing. So that's when I started noticing that there was something, and I looked at you, and I said, what did you just say or do to my kids?
No, that's not what she said. She said, what the hell did you say to my kids?
So I don't know what that you still did to my kids, but you did something.
Yeah, I kind of kept it a best kept secret. I usually don't push this on parents unless they're open or they ask. And in this case, Bonnie really didn't know the extent of what Creating Champions for Life program was all about. And so I just did a simple couple key things to set the right environment for them.
Mom, like you're watching this out there, your moms and dads or your guardians of kids. And so you've got these little kids that are uncooperative and all these things, and it just becomes about, what the heck's wrong with my kids? Where I started to develop an understanding that it was something that I was doing. But it was really hard for me to admit in the beginning that it was me, because I was a great mom. I invested a lot of time in my kids. I'm going to get emotional actually talking about it, because I love them so much. I did so much for them. But in the end, they turned out to be kids that I never allowed to step up to be the champion. I never allowed them to set their own goals. I just did everything for them.
And so to me, it's just common sense. I've been doing it for so long and working with so many kids. I just assumed that all parents knew this. And as I travel more around the world, what a great gift this is to give to parents.
It really is.
Yeah.
Would you remember the day that Zachary was like, "Mom, can I have some juice?" And I come running in like, good mom, you know, I'm a great mom, and I'm going to make him some juice. And you sent me to run an errand, and you had something in your mind that you were going to do. You sent me out to go get something first, and when I came back, Zachary had actually...
Oh, he made the juice himself.
Right.
And you were like, he can't make juice.
I just